Hi, Mekdes. Okay, we're good.
Hi, Fabian. Thank you for the invite. Today we're going to be cooking Assa Tibbs Wot, which is fish, and we're gonna pan fry it, and then we're gonna make a little sauce, and then we're gonna spice it up with some of Ethiopian spices, and then I'll show you how to serve it. And also we're going to make a lentil salad.
Ooh.
Which is very typical in Ethiopia, very typical salad, and I'm going to make it really authentic for you.
Amazing.
Okay, we're gonna start with just warming up this pan, and I'll just put a half a teaspoon of oil, just to warm up the pan. While the pan is warming up, you see, while the pan is warming up, and I'm just gonna dry my fish. I used tilapia with no bone in it, so I tried my best to put all the water out, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of rosemary powder on top, just to give it a little spice.
How do you say rosemary in Amharic again? How do you say?
We call it rosemary.
Oh, rosemary.
Yeah, we call it rosemary.
Okay.
And I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave it like that for a little bit. So I want the oil to warm up and the pan really nicely. There we go. And then I'm just gonna turn and to put a tiny bit of rosemary powder again.
So you put it on both sides?
Both sides would be nice, yes. And the same with the salt. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just a little bit. So I just don't want extra oil. So once the pan is completely warmed up, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drain the oil out.
Okay. So
that way it would be less oily. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Can you use like a margarine or like a butter substitute for the oil or anything, or should it just be oil?
I think you can. But I usually use vegetable oil for this. So I'm just gonna drain it out a tiny bit, and then that's it. And I'll put my fish. And there. And then I'm just gonna grab a wooden spoon, which I should have earlier on. So there you go.
All right.
I'll just give it a few minutes. And while we are waiting for this, I am going to show you. I just sliced thinly some red onions and tomatoes.
How much of each? Like one tomato, one onion?
I put one large onion, red onion, and then I put 2 medium-sized tomatoes. The more tomato you have, the better it tastes anyways. And then I will put, this is garlic, ginger, rosemary, and lemon all together. I made it as a paste.
Is it a paste? Oh.
It's a paste, yeah. I use it for salad. I also use it for cooking as well.
Sweet.
So yeah. So while we're doing that, let me just check this fish. It's gonna turn it.
I can't remember. Is it on medium right now? Medium high?
Pardon me?
Is the heat on medium or medium high?
The heat would be medium.
Right.
Medium high. Yes.
Okay.
The heat will be medium high. So I'm just gonna move it a little bit this way and that way, and then I press it down a little bit so that the So the idea of just making it fry on the pan is that just to give it a little test, also to make it a little bit tender. So yeah, and it could be done in so many ways. Some people deep fry it. I could put more oil, but I choose not to. Just make it a little more healthier. To use less oil. I would rather use more oil when I'm making the sauce.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so here it goes. Almost done with this. This is what it looks like.
Looks pretty white over here.
Pardon me?
It looks pretty white over here. Is the other side's gonna be more brown, right?
Is, yeah. It's a white fish, and then it's just got a little bit of cooked a little bit. There you go.
Is it a bit more golden, hey?
Pardon me?
Is it a little brown? Oh yeah.
It's just a little bit brown. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut it. Just cut it in a half. There. It's pretty much done.
Wow, that's
There
fast.
You go. This is it. This is the fish. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the sauce. So I'm going to leave this right in front of you. So I would put.
Can you lift it just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just to take a little look.
So yeah, this is like crispy at the top and soft inside for now. Just to give it a little flavor and then make it a little bit tender.
Okay.
So I could put it right here so that you have a good, you can see it now.
Oh yeah, it's a bit better. You can see that.
There you go. So now I'm just going to put the heat on a medium high and then put a full teaspoon of oil.
Okay.
See, I'm a little bit generous this time. And then I will add my sliced onion, thinly sliced. And then I add my tomatoes. If you want me to provide you a recipe, definitely I can do that. And then I'm just mix them a little bit. So, mix them a little bit. And then I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of the garlic paste.
What's the ratio of the spices in there? 'Cause you said you have lemon, you've got garlic in there. What's the ratio of every of those spices?
It has garlic.
Yeah.
Ginger. Rosemary powder.
Yeah.
Lemon juice.
Okay.
And olive oil.
Is it like all equal amounts?
Just ginger and garlic half and a half.
Okay.
But the rest is like, I have a recipe for that as well.
Sure. I'll snag it off you after.
I'll make that paste. So I can send you that recipe as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I'm going to try this.
So yeah, you can be a little more generous if you want it to taste really nice, even more nicer. So you can have a little more oil, but I prefer it this way. So can you see the inside of the tomatoes and the?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cooking. So we need to give it a little more time so that it caramelizes.
Okay. And the tomato is going to get softer too, right?
The tomatoes are getting softer now, but you will see the color will change when it cooks very well, and when it mixed with the onion, it will look very different. It will look very different.
What was onion and tomato in Amharic again?
I'm just gonna close it. Pardon me?
What's tomato in and oh my goodness, tomato and onion in Amharic? I forgot.
Tomato, timati. onion, shinkurt.
Shinkurt.
And oil is zait.
Zait. Okay.
Zait.
Cool.
Yes. Next week we're gonna be doing exactly the same thing. Next Saturday you have
in the Amharic lesson from the school you teach.
Yeah, we're gonna do fish and then gomanut.
Ooh, the spinach.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah. So I'm just gonna look at it. So yeah, the onion needs a little more time to cook. So this is very easy to find it in Vancouver, right? So we can have tilapia any stores. We can have onion any stores. There you go. So yeah.
All right.
You have any question?
Oh, let me see.
No, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. I know we'll be serving it on the injera, and so if you don't have injera, what would you suggest? Because I know like there are some places around the city you can get it. Like you can get injera there's a vape shop on Commercial and 12th that has it. Shoprite Smoke, I think it's called. They've got injera there, and they also sell some other Habesha spices. But if somebody can't get to injera, what can they use instead?
If they can't get injera, they can use pita bread or rice to go with it. But we can find injera. There are a few stores actually on Edmonds Street.
Really?
Yeah, one is closer to Edmonds and Kingsway, and the other one is Edmonds and Canada Way.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there are a couple of stores, and New West also have a few stores.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, there are a few stores around that we can use. Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
So yeah, it's changing a little bit as you see it.
Yeah, it's becoming more red, hey? The onions have shrunk a bit too.
Yes, of course. When it cooks, the tomatoes and the onions, when they cook, they shrink a little bit. So yeah. So while we're doing this, I'm just gonna add I'm gonna add berebere.
What is that? Can you tell us what that is?
Pardon me?
Can you tell us what berebere is?
What did you say, Haven?
Tell us about berebere.
Oh, berebere is a very authentic spice, and it's red chili originally, but it has over 25 different spices that was added to it, and then it takes a really long time to make real authentic berebere. Really, it's a huge deal to make authentic berebere. So I'm gonna add just 1 tablespoon of berebere, because berebere is my favorite thing to put on our food. Just gonna put it in there. So,
can you find it at the shops that we were talking about that you could buy injera?
Absolutely, yes. Well, again, from household to household, it's very, very different. So I'm just gonna add the fish into the sauce.
Okay.
So, and then I'm just gonna mix it a little bit. So there you go. So I'm just gonna break the fish a little bit.
Okay.
And then I will lower the heat to a low heat. And then as you see, it's turning the colors a little bit because of the berebere and the tomato. And I'm gonna cover it.
For how long?
So yeah, when berebere is made from household to household is very different. So I remember when I was back home, it's a huge deal. My mom makes it once a year, it just gets done once a year, and then it's a huge production. Really, like the garlic, the onion. We are the youngest ones who are responsible to peel all the onions.
Oh man.
And the garlic. You have no idea how much I hate peeling garlic.
Oh man.
Just because of that. So yeah, we are responsible to do that, and then it gets chopped, it gets dried with sun, and then it gets crushed. It's just a whole production.
Dang.
And yeah, so now I get it. I'm lucky enough to have it as a powder. I don't have to do anything.
What other spices are in that? In berebere?
In berebere, there are a list of the spices that I know of. I can't say it on top of my head in English, but what I know is black cardamom is one of, green cardamom is another, and I forgot Grunfud and Garafa. Yeah, again, in English, I have a list of them, but I have a hard time just digging my brain right now, getting the name in English. But yeah, it's over 25 spices beside the chili itself. So yeah.
How long should this be sitting? Because I know that it's on low right now.
Pardon me?
I know that you have that that pot is on low and it's just kind of simmering and cooking inside. Yes. How long do you keep it there?
I would say 5 to 10 minutes. And then just like in about 2-3 minutes, I would add some more rosemary. No, not rosemary powder. Sorry. This is spice. Oh, it's like black cardamom.
Okay.
Yes, black cardamom, like very close to black cardamom. We call it kororima. It's very authentic. It's very, very authentic Ethiopian spice. You won't be able to find it anywhere else. But black cardamom also to taste.
Can you repeat that?
So
it cut out for a second.
Black cardamom if they can't get kororima, right?
Can you repeat that? Your camera froze and then the camera glitched out for a minute and then I didn't hear part of that.
Oh.
You said something. Okay, so you said you can't get korolima here.
Oh, okay.
And then can you repeat the rest after? Sorry.
It's hard to find in here unless you go to Ethiopian store. But if you go to an Indian store, you can find black cardamom. It's very close to kororima. And they call it false. This one, kororima, is called false cardamom. Yes, false cardamom. That's what they call it in here. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is it. I'm just putting a pinch of it, and I'm just gonna give it a little turning and turning. I'll give it another maybe 5 minutes.
Sure.
And it's all done, basically. Yeah.
Wow. That's so fast.
It did, didn't it? So I prepare everything, so that's why. So I just want...
That makes sense.
Yeah, I want it to be a little bit, like I don't want it to be too boring, too long. So yeah. So yeah. And I'm just going to put a pinch of salt, a little bit of salt. It's up to you how much salt you want to put, of course. Right? And yeah. Question?
Oh, yes. So can you tell whoever's watching this video how important food is to our culture? Yes,
food in Ethiopian culture, of course, in every culture, food is very important. It brings the community together. It's about sharing. It's just love, and it is unity. It's everything. So, in every culture, in our culture, when someone is walking to your house, the best way that you show that person is by feeding that person. If you don't feed that person, that means you don't like that person, really. So you must, and that is very, very, very important for in our culture. That it's almost making a connection through food. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then tell, Oh, I'm so bad with questions. I mean, with words today, but can you describe how we set the table? Like when we're all about to eat, like say a family's about to eat, like what does it look like on the table?
Well, in the olden days, what happens is when I was growing up as a child, because we have a large family, the older siblings have one big circle, the younger one have another circle, and then, we call it awaki, which is the adults will have another circle. So we sit around the table or I mean, in the city table, in the countryside, it could be a circle muscle, which looks like this, but a little bit bigger, much bigger, in fact, much bigger. And we put the big flat injera right on the muscle, and then we put different kind of food in between, and then you share the injera and you eat together.
All on the same plate.
On the same plate.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just, civilization is also changing those things. So we put the food together, we sit around the table, and we cut the injeras. It's much accessible now that way. And then still we're sharing it. We share exact the same food from the exact the same bowl. I'm going to put it in here and I'll show you how it works. And then, we share it. We just take it around and share it that way.
Can you tell me a little bit about that thing in the corner? I actually don't know the name of it, but I know injera goes in it. No, the one that looks like a hat.
Oh, mesol?
Mesol? Is that what it's called? I never
knew. Yeah.
Mesol.
This one is mesol, yes. It's the tiny one, and I have a bigger one. I'll show it to you. And the one we have in Ethiopia, it's bigger than this.
Yeah.
And it has its own stand. Like in my household, it's only when it is the holiday season that we eat. When it is like Easter or New Year's or anything like that. That is when we sit down and eat around it to just celebrate. Other than that, we sit on a table and we eat. It's just like everyday life.
Can you tell us a bit about what injera is, like about the actual dough part of it?
The process of injera? Or
for those who don't know what it is, because some people think injera is the entire meal, and some people know that it's more than the meal. It's also the utensil, and it's the actual like flour, the teff part. So can you tell people that don't know what it is?
Yeah, injera originally, before it arrives to anywhere else except Ethiopia, it was only a flour, which is a very tiny, tiny grain. And I have it, I can show it to you. A very tiny grain. Oh, it's far away. But I can get it. See how far I can reach?
Yeah, you got it.
So, it's a very tiny grain. It comes into different colors. And then this is the darkest one.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like
the darkest one. It comes in a white as well. And it looks like inside the bottle, this is what it looks like. It's very tiny grain. And it goes to the mill, and then it gets to be a flour. Comes home, the women, of course, makes the dough out of it. The dough has to stay 3 days outside with not being refrigerated. And then it become injera, which is the dough is like, it almost looks like crepe, right?
Yeah.
The mitad, which is the injera maker, it looks like a big crepe maker, really big. So the injera itself, it stays for 3-4 days without being refrigerated.
Because it's fermenting, right?
It's fermenting, yes. So yeah, that is how, in Ethiopia, that's how it used to be made. Now, for the last 50, 60 years, people are migrating into different parts of the world. We have to figure out a way to bring our culture with her. Of course, you can take the child out of its country, but you cannot take the country out of the child, right?
Yes.
So we get, we get it somehow. So we use barley flour because teff is not accessible as much. It's a little bit expensive. It's also, for some reason, I don't know whether it is the climate, is it the water, it really doesn't turn out to be a good injera. So what we do is we mix the barley flour, but mind you, some women are amazing. They make beautiful injera out of teff. I don't know how they do it. For me, I have to mix it. Okay, barley flour and teff, I put half and half. I use warm water and ferment it. To ferment it, I use sourdough starter. And then I leave it for about 24 hours outside, and I keep it in the fridge for about 24 hours or so, and then I make it. And it turns to be something like this.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, so it's all high fiber, really good. Teff itself is becoming a very powerful food. It become no gluten, high in iron, high in fiber. But again, it's not easy to make a teff injera.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. I remember like going when I went back home probably like 10 years ago, like I just remember like how distinct and like supreme the injera tasted over there as compared to here, and it was just all teff, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, it's huge difference, honestly, huge difference. Yeah, huge difference. But you know what? We get what we get, to be honest, and we managed to find a way of making it. So this is what it looks like as a dish.
Okay. Is there any chance you can walk up to the camera a little bit and put it right there?
Like that?
Like, can you walk around the table closer to the camera?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, it looks
Maybe
great.
I should bring the camera a little closer.
Sure. If you can, only if you can. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a little bit far if the camera is. Does it look a little closer?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So here we go. Maybe this?
Yes, that looks great. A little higher though. But yeah, that looks really delicious.
Good. So this is the fish tibbs wot. So because we pan fried a little bit, that's called kind of tibbs. But then we put a little bit of sauce in it, so tibbs wot.
Okay, so the what is the part that's mostly stew, right? And then the tibbs would be the fried.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you put meat, so that will be sigawat.
Okay.
And if you put lentil, that's misirwat. Right? The basic sauce is a little bit different from one another. But if you put it in a sauce, if it is a sauce, it has a sauce, that's what.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So it's time to make the salad.
Yay.
Here we go. So we're done with the so I'm just gonna take the stove away. Just hot, Shashu. All right. So I cooked the lentil. It's a whole lentil.
Okay. Oh, so you got brown lentils, right?
Yes, brown lentil. I cooked it until it is very, very mushy.
Do you just boil them? Is that how you do it?
Yes, until it is completely mushy. So
okay.
I'm just gonna measure 2 cups of a cooked one, very good, nicely cooked. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my masher.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna mash it. This dish is very, very popular around Lent season. Just because it's quite filly and has a lot of protein. People don't eat meat. They need a lot of this kind of protein. So yeah. So yeah, you just mash it until it's all mashed together. You can't see, can you?
I kind of can. Okay, yeah, it looks like, yeah, definitely looks like a bean paste now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the camera. I'm just gonna put the camera a little bit lower.
Sure. Thank you.
So
that's great. That's really good.
Okay.
Thank you, Mekdes.
There we go. So yeah, we can. So that looks really mashed now.
Mm-hmm.
Go. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use my spoon to make it a little more smooth. Yeah, it looks good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put. I have nicely chopped.
Oh wow.
Red onion.
Mm-hmm.
I have a jalapeno.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have parsley.
How much of each three do you have?
Each one of them, I'm just gonna measure.
Okay, so it doesn't even matter how much.
I'm gonna measure now.
Okay,
because,
okay.
I forgot how much I put because I always, I grow up not measuring, and when I cook, I don't measure. I just put things in there.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, since I start teaching my kids, the Ethiopian kids, I start to measure. I start to write. And I have the recipe for this.
Oh, sweet.
Also. So
Okay.
I'm going to say 2 tablespoons
of the onion,
and then I would say 3 tablespoons of parsley. I would say 3, and then 2 tablespoons of jalapeno. Yep. All right, and then what I'm going to do is 1 teaspoon. I have this empty one, so I'm going to make a sauce.
Oh, okay.
For that, okay. So I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of my garlic and ginger mix, and then I am going to put half teaspoon of rosemary powder. Okay, I have this spoon for that. It's gonna help me to measure. There you go. So I have, and I'm going to put 1 tablespoon again of mustard seed.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does the mustard seed do?
Mustard seed gives it a little bit of it's like what wasabi gives you.
Okay. Oh.
That kind of feeling it will give you.
Okay.
So, and then I will add lemon juice.
How much?
Lemon juice is a good idea to measure because I'll put 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Okay.
And then I will add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin cold press olive oil.
Cold press.
That's very important. And then a tiny bit of salt.
Okay.
A tiny bit of salt. Yes. And then I mix them really nicely.
Okay.
Really nicely. So this could be a kind of a salad dressing, even for any kind of salad.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. So, and then I mix my ingredients here first before I add the sauce.
Okay.
You can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go. So well mixed.
How is the salad eaten? Do you just eat it with do you put it on the injera too?
Yeah, mostly we eat everything was injera.
And
except food, to be honest, in Ethiopia, only food that we eat was bread. If you see anyone eating anything with bread, that tells you that they don't have injera. if they do have injera, they would never eat it with bread. Yeah, so I'm just gonna add the sauce.
Okay. Huh. I've never heard of this dish.
It's called azifa.
Azifa. Yeah, I've never.
Azifa.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's a very, very popular popular salad. So again, from household to household, it's very different.
Mm.
And I sometimes put green onion. I sometimes put parsley to change the taste.
Mm.
Mm. And then you can add your salt as you wish. So I'm just gonna put it on my favorite bowl. There you go. Every time when I go for a potluck,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I make.
Really?
Yeah, very simple,
Hmm.
and everybody is familiar with it, so it's easy. So this is what it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah. So how do I serve this food? It is very important, right? So sometimes I use, like, if I have a group of people coming to my home, I put these two plates together just like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ask them to serve themselves, right? So this is how they serve themselves. Injera,
Mm-hmm.
of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they use injera as an to start with,
Yeah.
right? And then they place the salad right on. There. This is what it looks like on the plate
Wow.
together.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Can you show us how to eat it?
definitely. I'm sorry, Faven, that you can't eat it,
I know. Me too. It looks good.
but no shasho, no shasho. My cat is looking at me. So what you do is basically you take a piece of injera,
Mm.
and then you just wrap it with a little bit of fish or what, and then so injera has so much purpose.
Very true. It's
Yeah.
so good, yeah.
Yeah, and then the salad, the same idea. You just take a piece, and it's really good. I'm sorry.
Can you show us again in the camera? Can you put it like right up to it? Gotta see those textures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks like avocado. That salad looks like avocado.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it has a lot of green in there, right? The
Mhm.
jalapeno and yeah. This is what it is.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for showing us how to make that.
Yeah, it's all accessible to make.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard, but a berebere is the main thing, which makes everything authentic for our cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and if you have questions, make sure that you communicate with us. Our school is Hibret Amharic and Cultural School, and we support education back in Ethiopia as well as here in Vancouver. So our website is hibretschool.ca, and yeah, please visit our website. And my name is Mekdes, and thank you so much for being here today with
Thank
me.
you.
And thank you, Evan, for inviting me again.
Of course. Ah, big love. All right. Thank you, Mekdes.
Thank you.
All right.